The giant African millipede, scientifically known as Archispirostreptus gigas, is one of the largest and most recognizable terrestrial invertebrates on Earth. Native to the tropical and subtropical regions of Africa, this slow-moving giant challenges nearly every assumption humans hold about multi-legged creatures. Despite its intimidating size and countless legs, the giant African millipede is not a predator, not venomous, and not aggressive. It is a quiet recycler of forests, a living mechanism of decomposition, and an essential architect of soil health. The evolutionary lineage of millipedes stretches back more than 400 million years, making them among the earliest animals to colonize land. Long before dinosaurs walked the earth, millipede ancestors were already breaking down plant matter in ancient forests. The giant African millipede represents the peak of this evolutionary path, not through speed or strength, but through specialization. It evolved to process dead organic material efficiently, transforming decay into fertility. Physically, the giant African millipede is unmistakable. Adults commonly reach lengths of 30 to 38 centimeters, with some individuals approaching half a meter. Its cylindrical body is composed of dozens of rigid segments, each protected by a smooth, dark exoskeleton that often reflects light with a polished sheen. Contrary to popular belief, it does not possess 1,000 legs. Instead, it typically has between 250 and 400 legs, arranged in pairs along its segmented body. These legs move in a slow, wave-like motion, creating a hypnotic ripple as the animal advances across the forest floor. Movement in the giant African millipede is deliberate rather than urgent. Speed offers no advantage in its ecological role. Instead, stability, balance, and endurance define its behavior. Its many legs distribute weight evenly, allowing it to navigate leaf litter, soil, and fallen wood without sinking or losing traction. This constant contact with the ground enhances sensory input, enabling the millipede to detect moisture levels, chemical cues, and subtle environmental changes. The head of the giant African millipede is small compared to its body, equipped with simple antennae used primarily for touch and chemical detection. Vision is extremely limited, restricted to basic light perception rather than detailed images. In the dense understory of African forests, sight is less valuable than smell and vibration. The millipede lives in a world defined by texture, humidity, and scent. Feeding behavior is where the giant African millipede reveals its true importance. It is a detritivore, feeding almost exclusively on decaying plant material such as fallen leaves, rotting wood, and decomposing vegetation. As it consumes this matter, it grinds it internally and excretes nutrient-rich waste that returns essential minerals to the soil. This process accelerates decomposition, improves soil structure, and supports plant growth. Without organisms like the giant African millipede, forest ecosystems would slowly choke under their own waste. During daylight hours, giant African millipedes typically remain hidden beneath logs, stones, or leaf litter to avoid dehydration and predators. They are most active at night, when humidity is higher and temperatures are lower. This nocturnal lifestyle reduces water loss and increases feeding efficiency. Despite their size, they are surprisingly vulnerable. Birds, reptiles, small mammals, and even humans pose potential threats. Lacking venom or biting capability, the giant African millipede relies on chemical defense. When threatened, it coils its body into a tight spiral, protecting its soft underside. At the same time, it releases a defensive secretion from glands along its body. This fluid contains irritating compounds that can cause mild burns, skin discoloration, or eye irritation in predators. While not dangerous to humans, the secretion is effective enough to discourage most attacks and serves as a clear warning to keep distance. Reproduction in giant African millipedes is slow and methodical, mirroring their overall lifestyle. Mating occurs during favorable environmental conditions, often linked to seasonal rainfall. Females lay eggs in small soil chambers, where juveniles hatch with far fewer segments and legs than adults. Growth is gradual, occurring through repeated molting cycles that can take several years. A giant African millipede may live for up to a decade in the wild and even longer in captivity. Human interaction with giant African millipedes is marked by misunderstanding. Their size and appearance often trigger fear, leading to unnecessary killing. In reality, they are harmless and beneficial. In recent years, they have gained popularity in the exotic pet trade due to the docile nature and low maintenance requirements. When kept responsibly, they can serve as educational ambassadors, helping people overcome fear and appreciate the complexity of invertebrate life. Ecologically, the giant African millipede functions as a cornerstone species in its habitat. By recycling dead plant matter, it supports nutrient cycles that sustain entire food webs. Its burrowing behavior aerates soil, improves water infiltration, and creates microhabitats for smaller organisms. Though silent and slow, its impact is continuous and far-reaching. The giant African millipede does not hunt, chase, or dominate. It persists, it cleans, it restores. In ecosystems obsessed with predators and prey, it reminds us that survival is not only about killing, but about renewal. Every step it takes, every leaf it consumes, brings life back into the soil beneath it. In that quiet labor lies its true power.